I think this new moon is about change and activity, but it's also got a sense of more attracting what you want, instead of going full bore after something. Whether I'm looking at a birth chart or an event chart, like I'm looking at for this Virgo new moon that is happening overnight tonight, if you're basically anywhere in the US, I'd like to look at the elements, the sign modes, the house modes, and the polarities because I can get the general feel of the chart or the event. So if you look at the sign modes, we've got, and just think of these numbers as relative. I'm not going to go into how they're calculated, but relatively a 10 in cardinal and a 10 in mutable and only a 3 in fixed. So that tells me there's not a sense of wanting to keep things the same, and there's a lot of energy around starting something new with the cardinal 10 and changing with the mutable 10. And then if we look at the house modes, and I cast this chart for Washington, D.C., because this is kind of, I'm talking about the whole United States, and that's how we're kind of casting the whole chart. So we've got 7 in angular and 7 in cadent. So in the angular house, that means whatever's happening during this next month is going to have more impact physically, because that's what happens with the angular houses. They're kind of like almost cardinal houses as well. The succeeding house is kind of in between maybe some challenges and also activity going on. So there's not a lot of energy there. So you might not see the results of whatever you're changing as much during this period. And then the cadent house will make it feel kind of like it's like a liminal house. So it's almost like, you're still kind of letting go of what's existing now as you transmute things and transform things to pursue what you're wanting to manifest. When we look at the elements, where you've got most of the energy of this new moon is in the element of water. So that tells me there's emotion, there's intuition, sensitivity. You're more attractive rather than going full force actively after something. And we also have the next number in earth, which is again more passive, more receptive, and also starting to ground whatever it is you're wanting during this time. And so there is, there's some energy around fire and air. So you're thinking and you're doing a little activity, but don't get perturbed if what you're trying to do is not kind of coming together right now. This is kind of a planning, receptive kind of period, but also with a mind to change. And again, that repeats when we look at the polarities. Masculine is considered active and feminine is more receptive and magnetic. And you can see there's a lot of magnetism there with 15 versus 8. So mainly if you remember during this next 4 weeks before the next new moon, that you are feeling, it's more feeling and being receptive to the changes that you are going to be making. And some of these changes, when we look at the actual chart, may come out of the blue.